Hello everyone, you're watching StudyIQ IAS English and my name is Praveen Mishra. And today we are going to discuss about the establishment of the New World Order. Is it really the establishment of the New World Order? That's the question mark. But the answer to the very same question lies in this picture that you're watching. The three leaders, Prime Minister Modi from our country obviously, Vladimir Putin from Russia and Xi Jinping from China. Well, a country that is named as China, with whom we have got always some hostile relationship. But this image has literally made the world to go ahead with this question that, is there a big paradigm shift into the geopolitical alliance system? Is the world now about to get rid of the Western influence as well as the Western dominance, specifically coming from the United States of America? Are we about to have the dominance of something that is known as the NATO of the East, that is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, basically the SCO? So what we have seen just in last 48 hours, between 1st to 2nd of September in Xianjin region of China, the SCO meet, and how the Indian Prime Minister was welcomed there, and how they both, that is Indian Prime Minister, the Chinese Premier, as well as the Russian President, has ignored some of those people which were meant to be ignored, like Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan, as well as they have talked on some issues, on some regional as well as global issues that targets the not so good intentions, obviously once again the hostile intentions of the Western world, specifically targeting United States of America. So let's talk about the whole scenario, what we have observed, what we have seen, what we have experienced. The welcome of Prime Minister Modi inside China, a cultural welcome by the Indian diaspora there along with the Chinese population there. Well, we have seen that how India and China since last 7 years, they have been not just 7 years, but yes, since a last 7 decades, we are having some cruel, not cruel, but yes, sore relations. And the sore relations turn more bitter, more intense since last 6 years, specifically after the Galwan Valley clash of 2020. Obviously, we have seen how Chinese expansionist policies, they have troubled Indian markets as well as the sovereignty of our country, specifically targeting the era of 2017, when we have seen the issue at the Bhutan tri-junction when it comes to the name Doklam or the Dokala Passage. Right. So yes, relations, they have been sore and bitter and bitter. But after the lunatic personality named as Donald J. Trump came back to the power in the United States of America, we have seen that these are the countries, those who are now trying their best, including India, China, as well as Russia. We are trying our best to eliminate all such issues that we do have in between us. And once we do so, obviously, we shall be the greatest alliance on this planet ever. India being the 4th largest economy, obviously Russia and China are there, those who are also part of the P5, that is the Permanent 5 of the United Nations Security Council. So obviously, this will be something that will be providing deep troubles and stress to the United States of America and its allied partners, its satellite states. Basically, their dominance, their hegemony is now in question. The concern raises quite well. So the welcome thing, well, you might think like, why it is a big thing. A prime minister has visited any other country, and so the welcome makes a big difference. For sure, it does. Because it's the Indian prime minister being welcomed through the cultural aesthetics in China, right, to hostile nations, to not so good friendly neighborhoods, right? So this is what has happened. And this image is, clear enough to provide huge level of stress to the countries like Pakistan as well as America. Those who are trying to impose the irrational, baseless, illogical tariffs on India, right? The only reason is they want to represent their dominance so that their own market can expand. Their own market can grow at the cost of the destruction of the markets, at the cost of the destruction of the economy of others. This is where the own self-centric, egoistic, as well as what we say, the mean things stand. So as you can see what has happened. So PM Modi attended in person for the first time in 7 years, China. Welcomed warmly. Okay, it was a headline that the handshake that happened, okay, this handshake that you are watching is something quite great. Okay, and yes, finally, the members adopted the Tianjin Declaration and Slate of a Cooperation, which literally talked about counterterrorism, digital economy, as well as connectivity. That means ultimately the reliance on the West as well as Europe might decline to the Eastern as well as Southeast Asian nations. And now this one, that's the talk of the whole internet since last 72 hours. The trio of Prime Minister Modi ji, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, as well as the Chinese premier, that is Xi Jinping. Obviously, these are the images that are common. But these three people all together, okay, this is a rare phenomena that the world has experienced in last 72 hours. And this is quite a great thing when it comes to India's growth and development. As we can see here, no treaty was announced, no alliance was announced. That's what the observation is. But what we have observed, an enhanced version, an enhanced packaging of RIC, that is Russia, India, and China, enhancing more of a regional bloc from SCO to BRICS. As we all know, that India, Russia, China, Brazil, South Africa, in short, BRICS. How we are trying our best, the policy formulation as well as the other pros and cons, other angles that we are, going through with the proper analysis to have a trade which is not dominated or which is not done in the US dollars, but in a separate currency. And obviously, this will send a big level of stress to America again. Exactly what we have seen, what has happened in Libya. Why? Why Libya fell into the trap of America? Because Libya was trying, actually, the so-called Libyan dictator, which was a dictator or not, we don't know. When you talk about Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi, the Libyan people, they loved him. But America declared Muammar Gaddafi as a dictator. Why so? Why Libya fell into the hands of America? Because Libya was trying to have its own separate trade currency along with the African Union. And hence, America didn't like it. And now, not just Libya, but alongside the altitudes, the latitudes, the longitudes of African nations, a big wave of disruptions, a big wave of devastations, they started. And the waves also went through the other portions, other angles of the globe, including the West Asia as well as the Middle East. Well, yes, a country, whosoever, a group of countries basically, or a country, whosoever tries to go against the dominance or the hegemony of America faces some backlash, faces some controversies and complications. But this time, it's not the 20th century. It's not the 20th century. It's 21st century. It's India 2.0. It's China, who is the second largest economy, and also when it comes to the global defense and when it comes to the global dominance, China is right now way ahead with America. And now, alliance with Russia, obviously, is something that is fair enough thing to call that this is something that is disturbing the sleep. It's providing the huge level of sleep apnea as well as insomnia to the West. Right? So this image in itself is the answer that yes, we haven't just gave any kind of declaration of any new alliance, of a new organization, but yes, we are enriching, we are enhancing a system of SCO as well as BRICS, and we are ready to create a new currency that will be, just sidelining, alienating the US dollars. And now let's be prepared for something that is coming in a very near time. America is not going to sit silent and just watch the show. They will be trying their best. They will be trying, America and its allied partners, its satellite states will be trying their best now to enhance the internal disruptions in our country, Russia, and China. And let me give you a type of an oracle or whatever you can call it. Very soon you'll find some hype, some escalations in the Russia-Ukraine war. Very soon you'll find many terrorist organizations, including Lashkar, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, ISIL, they will be back with some violent activities. Afghanistan will start burning again, and Iran and Iraq might probably see another civil war because America wants this area to be kept disturbed at any cost. Because if this area is disturbed, the Middle East as well as the Asia as well as Southeast Asia, along with the whole Asian continent, what you can say, then only the West would be able to sleep properly and grow properly. This is what the Western philosophy is, which has been always. But that's not the bloody reality. And now let's be prepared for it. So as you can see, the signal value. PM Modi's first China visit in 7 years. The three leaders, the visuals and the warmer language, it symbolizes that India can lean continental when it comes to the global defense, its ties and so on. From Quad to SCO to BRICS, and this is what we have been representing since last a decade with the new foreign policy experts into the cabinet. And here we have got the next big thing here. Russia offering new markets to India in the shadow of US tariffs. What we have seen that yes, some baseless tariffs at the end of the August 2025. America implemented 50% tariffs on all the Indian products. And now we are trying our best to enhance our exports to the other markets, including China as well as Russia, who are the potential buyers. And since they are the potential buyers, so obviously our target, our view is on these countries now. We have to say, America, see, it's totally your choice, totally your will, tada bye-bye. We don't care about your market anymore because we have got access to the other markets as well, and for which our dear friend Russia has already provided us an informal statement that we shall be opening the markets of Russia for the Indian products. So this is what has been discussed into the SCO summit. So post-summit signaling, as we can see, Russia and India publicly doubled down on the line of the strategic partnership days after Washington's tariff move and India's export push. What we can see, we have been trying to raise exports to Russia beyond the crude flows, urging Moscow to lift non-tariff barriers because we need some greater level of markets, and so does the countries like Russia and China, they do, right? So let's create an ecosystem, let's create an environment, a trade ecosystem where we are getting rid of the American dominance from Microsoft to Google to Apple and other industries where America is dominating. And here are the facts with us. As we can see, the US factor, the tariff. The US under President Donald J. Trump announced 50% tariffs on late August 2025, explicitly linking them to India's continued purchases of Russian crude and alleged undercutting of the sanctions policy. Accusations. What the Russia-Ukraine war has been called by the Western media, specifically the Trump administration, as India war or the Modi war. They have also just labeled it. They have tabled and labeled it with a brand of Indian war or the Modi's war, right? It's not Modi's war. It's not India's war. It's the war between Russia and Ukraine. And this war has been justified by Russia a million times. That it's because of America who tried to induce Ukraine, its border nation, into NATO. If you take NATO to the Russian borders, obviously Russia is not going to sit silent. Russia will retaliate. Russia will provide the befitting reply. And why the hell are you not able to end up the war since last 3.5 years plus? I mean, this is not a joke, America, right? You must have done that. So this is what Russia has been stating. This is what Russian allied nations have been stated, including us, that we have nothing to do with Ukraine. We have no enmity with Ukraine. But yes, Ukraine has been a good friend to us, and we have provided all the humanitarian supplies, all the humanitarian aid that's needed to Ukraine. So we have done that on the very same part. We have been a friend to Russia. We have been following the Russian crude, no doubt in discounted price. And why shouldn't we? Do we have any reason to not buy with this? Obviously. And you know, the very lesser known facts. Uranium, the nuclear element. Who is buying with whom? It's America buying uranium from Russia. So can't we say that Russia is also funding, America is also funding Russia against the war with Ukraine? Well, it is. No doubt in that, in the very same line. When you talk about the natural gas, the whole of Europe is buying the Russian gas, specifically mentioning the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline that was initiated in the month of June 2021 between Germany and Russia directly, a direct gas pipeline which is ongoing since last 5 years. Why has Germany failed to stop that gas pipeline, and why has Europe failed collectively to just implement all the rigid sanctions, embargo on Russia? Why has United Nations failed to put embargo on Russia and just devastate them out within their economy? Why these organizations have failed? So out of nowhere, suddenly Trump administration, including the White House's trade or the business advisor Navarro, has come forward with some disturbing comments, specifically targeting a community in India, that they are those who are just taking all the cream of the economy and disgruntling the other sections of the society. Why America is so much concerned with the Indian communities now, right? So this is where the target, this is where they are just trying to provide the internal disturbance in our country, and they are very much experts in such a thing. They are the stalwarts in creating these negative waves. We must not underestimate America's power here, right? So obviously this thing is a but obvious thing, that what Mr. Peter Navarro has publicly accused India of basically bankrolling Russia's war via oil buys. So if we are buying oil from Russia, you're buying the Russian uranium. And you know what? We are buying oil from Russia, and we are also selling the very same oil. If America doesn't know, well, they do know for sure, but obviously they don't want to speak such a fact, because then how they will just carry forward their hostile intentions. We are selling the very same Russian oil that we are buying from Russia on the discounted price to Ukraine. Now what you can say, is Ukraine funding Russia against the war, right? Obviously that's not the reality. Russia selling oil to India, India selling oil to Ukraine. So can we directly say that Ukraine is directly funding Russia against the war with Ukraine? It's not like that. That's not how geopolitics and the global trade works. So it's just about, they have to speak some nonsense thing. They just have to blabber some nonsense thing, and they have done. So when we talk about the policy cross currents, okay, so even you can see, when we talk about our Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal's statement, possible trade fix-up, White House has sent mixed signals, oscillating between a transactional ask to cut Russian oil and desire for a deal keeping uncertainty high. So we have always said that no, just you keep it certain, and we shall be on table with you with the proper agreements and the contracts. So energy reality check, as we can see, on an average 70 actually barrels on an average every day. What we can see, India imported 1.9 million BBD of Russian crude oil in the first quarter of 2025, what we can understand. So obviously this is something which is not so good news for the American country and its satellite states as well. But why shouldn't we? Do we have any reason, guys? Please do let us know into the comment section. Do we have any reason not to buy Russian oil? What could be the reason? There couldn't be any reason, right? So here we go to the next big thing. Can India replace US with Russia and China? Obviously, we are on the lines to do so. We can. The answer is to this question, yes, we can, for sure, right? Though US remains still the biggest trading partner, around $125 billion plus, exactly $132 billion plus of the annual trade we are doing with America. So America still remains India's largest trading partner. But yes, we can't totally rely on America. So as you can see, India's surplus, critical for jobs in textiles, gems and jewelry, pharmaceutical, IT services. And Russia offers us energy, and China is a deficit market with persistent barriers. We can do so. Obviously, we can. So here, the technology and the finance. We know Russian technology is good. We know Chinese technology is good. But yes, directly relying on them is also dangerous. And finally coming, the next big part, that is security, geography, and energy versus exposure. So we have got with us RIC, BRICS, and SCO, obviously. And apart from that, the most important thing, Russia delivers cheap oil, but an over-reliance draws secondary sanctions and the tariff risks. So we can't be totally relying on countries. Obviously, we have to go ahead with the Atmanirbhar Bharat policy, obviously. But ultimately, we don't have to also ignore. We can't even also ignore the importance of alliance with Russia and China. So we are doing so with our best intentions. There isn't India's intention to enhance war and promote violence globally. We have always gained a reputation of maintaining the global peace and standards along with the tranquility, as what has been mentioned under Article 51 of the Indian Constitution in Part 4, that is DPSP's Directive Principles of State Policy. That is, it is the duty of the state to promote international peace and security, for which we have got Quad. We have made Quad Alliance. It's America, Japan, we, that is India, as well as Australia. It's specifically for the defense of the maritime boundaries, the ocean, as well as the trade. And so on the contrary, we have got the RIC, SCO, and BRICS, where we have got two P5 members with us, that is Russia and China. Yes, we are fighting with China, no doubt in that, but it's time for us to de-escalate and get China into the basket of India, right? So this is what we have been trying our best. So yes, relying directly on China and Russia would be dangerous, and so will be relying directly on any country would be dangerous. So we are trying our best to be Atmanirbhar along with creating an alliance, an ecosystem where the balance is maintained along with the trade as well as defense. And so we have seen that the snake in the room is America. You cannot just trust on America as it's the snake here. But obviously, don't be, so much happy here. If America is a snake, then China is the dragon. But ultimately, we know how to train our dragon. This is what the dark reality is, right? So we talk about SCO, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which came into existence in the year 1996. The prelims fact it is, initially it was 5 countries, so it was named as the Shanghai 5. China and Russia, the P5, and the other erstwhile USSR members, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. It was rebranded as SCO in 2001 when officially Uzbekistan became the partner. And remember, it's the first major bloc that's led by China. And it's also called the NATO of the East. Remember this part. And India joined the very same in the year 2017. And the footprints was followed by Pakistan in the very same year, that is 2017 itself. So as of now, SCO is having 9 members and some observer and dialogue partners, including the countries like Afghanistan, Mongolia, and Iran. These are the the observers, as well as the dialogue partners, including Turkey, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Egypt, and so on. So as you can see, specifically Saudi, Qatar, and UAE. Once again, it's all about oil, Al-Habibi, right? That's what the concept here is. We must be following it. So we need to have them in our basket again. Okay, just it's the time to eliminate the US hegemony. So here we go, guys. This is it with regard to the whole session. And remember, it's the NATO of the East. Okay, and it's all important for us from every angle, from balancing the US influence, energy and connectivity, counter-terrorism, and the security architecture, right? So remember this term, NATO of the East. This is what the SCO has been branded, SCO has been tagged. Okay, guys, so remember, we are balancing ourselves, and we need to balance ourselves in our UPSC CSE preparation as well. So if you are a serious UPSC CSE aspirant, this information is for you. 2026, 2027, 2028, whatever examination you are targeting. Let's say you're targeting the examination year of 2028. So we have got resolution batches for you that are to be commenced. Okay, quite soon. One of the batch has been commenced yesterday, and the next batch is about to commence on 10th of September. So what you will get from those batches: 1,000+ hours of live classes, access to recorded lectures, teachers' personal notes that will be given to you into the PDF format at the end of the session, 18 sets of printed books sent to you at your doorsteps, prelims test series, mains test series, interview guidance program, prelims residential program, mains residential program, as well as 1:1 mentorship under one single subscription. So a 1-year course, 2-year course, 3-year course, we have got multiple subscription plans for you: gold, platinum, and diamond. You can choose any of the subscription plans. Okay, so you'll get your mentor, your educators, your notes, your books. Okay, apart from that, the test series, everything under one single subscription. So guys, what you need with yourself is just a promo code that is named here as PRV Live. So guys, please use this promo code that is PRV Live and avail the maximum possible discount on any subscription purchase on the StudyIQ platform. And before you leave, guys, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button of our channel, StudyIQ IAS English. just dedicated with one agenda to provide you all the quality and quantity of the content. And in case you wish to connect with me, so here is the QR code of my Telegram channel that is named as Praveen_StudyIQ. And also you can connect with me on my Instagram account that is PraveenMishra_2107. Okay guys, so please hit the subscribe button and never miss an update by the channel. Bye bye, good day, take care, see you soon. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.